Okay, for this project, you're going to need a J-hook or a 6mm crochet hook, and your tapestry needle, and some scissors. And the color that I'm using is the Red Heart Super Saver, and this is pumpkin. And you're going to need some green yarn, and you'll also need the brown yarn for the stem. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get started. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to make 55 single chain. So how I make my initial slip knot is I just cross over the yarn just like that, and then I just hold it with my middle finger and thumb, yarn over, turn the hook upside down and just go back through, and that's my slip knot. And now I'm going to chain 55. So you can hold it with your two fingers and your thumb, and then you yarn over, pull through 1, 2, 3, 4, and go ahead and chain 55 single chains, and then come back, and then I'll show you the next step. So you should have finished your 55 single chains, and the reason I went with 55 single chains is because I took my little model here, and you can see that it goes around the forehead, and it fits about 55 to fit nicely. And this model is good for clothes that are 0 to 3 months old. So now we're going to go ahead and go to the second row. So you're going to go ahead and chain 1, and then chain 1 more, and that's going to count as your first half double crochet. So then go ahead and turn your work over, and you're going to go into the third chain from the hook. So go ahead and yarn over, and then go in the third chain from the hook, and then you're going to yarn over again, and you have 3 loops on the hook. Go ahead and yarn over and pull through all 3, and that's your second. So you actually have 1 half double crochet, and that was your second half double crochet, and you're going to do a half double crochet in every stitch across. So you go ahead and yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, you have 3 loops on the hook, you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. So I'm going to do a couple more with you, and then I'm going to let you finish doing the half double crochets all the way across. Go ahead and yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. And you can see how your half double crochets are lining up. So I'll do 2 more with you. Yarn over, go through the next stitch, yarn over, and then pull through all 3. Yarn over, go through the next stitch, yarn over, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. 1 more. Yarn over, go through the next stitch, yarn over, and pull through all 3. Alright, go ahead and finish half double crochets all the way to the end, and come back and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so you should be back and your work should look like this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch back to our beginning stitch. So go ahead and line it up. Make sure it's not twisted at all and that it's lined like a hat. And then you're just going to go slip stitch into the first stitch that you did. So you're going to go ahead and grab your yarn, and then you're going to hook it and pull it through both loops on the hook, just like that. and then go ahead and single chain, and then go ahead and get your tapestry needle, and then that small loose yarn that we had from the beginning, go ahead and put that onto your tapestry needle, and then you're going to hook the bottom. Here you can see we went slip stitched across the top, so now we're just going to tie the bottom together nicely. So go ahead and tie a knot, and what you can do is just loop it in and do that a couple times. And you can go ahead and bury that later. So we have the ends together. Now we're going to go ahead and you already have a chain 1, so go ahead and chain 1 more. So you have chain 2, that's going to be your first half double crochet. So now you can see how you have a sloped up stitch right here. You're not going to go into that stitch, you're going to go into the next stitch. So that will be your first half double crochet on the second row. So go ahead and yarn over and then go into that first stitch, yarn over. You have 3 loops on the hook. Go ahead and yarn over and pull through all 3. And then you have a half double crochet here and here. So you're going to do a half double crochet all the way around. So you yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, and then go through all 3. And I'll do a couple more with you. Yarn over, go through the next stitch, yarn over, and then you go through all 3. So go ahead and finish doing half double crochets all the way around until you get back to the beginning stitch, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so you should be back at the beginning. So we're going to do a slip stitch into our beginning half double crochet. So you're going to go to the top of the half double crochet, the initial one. Go ahead and yarn over, pull through, and you're going to pull through both loops on the hook, and that will connect it nicely. So now you're ready for your next row. So how you do your first half double crochet for the next row is you chain 2, 1 and 2, and you can see here that you have this stitch right there. You're not going to go into that one. The first stitch will be actually right here. So you're going to yarn over, and then you're going to go into your first stitch, yarn over, and you have 3 on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. So now I'm going to do a couple with you, and then you're going to do 5 more rows exactly like this, and then come back. So I'll do a couple with you. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, 3 on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. Yarn over, go through the next stitch, yarn over and pull through all 3. Go ahead and finish doing your half double crochets and go ahead and do 5 more rows. So you should have 7 rows total, and then come back and I'll show you the next step. Alright, so you should be back, and you can count your rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now we're just going to do a slip stitch to the beginning stitch here. So go to the top of that stitch, yarn over, and then pull through both. So now this is going to be a half double chain decrease round. So we're going to go ahead and do our first half double crochet. So you chain 1, chain 2, and that'll count as your first half double crochet. And then here you can see we're not going to go into this area. We're going to go right next to it into our first stitch there. So go ahead and yarn over and then go into your first stitch, yarn over, and then pull the yarn through all 3 loops. So that's going to be 2. Looks like let me redo that part. Okay, so chain 1, chain 2, and then yarn over, and then go into that first stitch, yarn over, and then pull through all 3. So I guess that's about right. It's the first half double chain and the second half double chain. Now we're going to do one more. Go ahead and yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, and pull through all 3. So we've done 3 half double crochets. Now we're going to do a decrease, a half double chain decrease. So go ahead, yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, and then you're going to go right into, you have 3 loops on the hook, you're going to go into yarn over and then go into the next stitch, and then yarn over, and you should have 5 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 5 loops on the hook, and that's your half double crochet decrease. So we're going to do that all the way around. I'm going to do a couple of them with you. Go ahead and yarn over and go into the next stitch, yarn over, you have 3 on the loop, go ahead and yarn over and pull through for your first half double crochet. Go ahead and yarn over, go through the next stitch, yarn over, and pull through all 3. That's your second half double crochet. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, 3 on the loop, hook, yarn over and pull through all 3, and that's your third half double crochet. So now we're going to do a half double crochet decrease. Go ahead and yarn over, go into your next stitch, yarn over, and then you're going to go into your yarn over and then go into your next stitch, yarn over, and then you have 5 loops on your hook. Go ahead and yarn over, and then you pull through all 5 loops. So go ahead and finish doing that pattern all the way around back to the beginning, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so you should be back to the beginning stitch. So we're going to do a slip stitch. Go ahead and yarn over and go to the top of that last stitch, or the first stitch that you started with, yarn over, and you're just going to pull through. Let me do that one again. So we're just going to do a slip stitch. You just go into that beginning stitch, yarn over, and you're going to pull through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch. And go ahead and do your first half double crochet. So you're going to go ahead and chain 2, 1, 2, and now we're going to do a decrease round again, and we're going to do 1 half double crochet and then a decrease. And so we already did our first half double crochet, so we're going to do a half double crochet decrease. So go ahead and yarn over and go ahead and go into this first stitch, yarn over, you have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, and you have 5 loops on your hook. Go ahead and yarn over and pull through all 5 for your decrease. Now we're going to do a half double crochet in the next stitch. Go ahead and yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, and then yarn over and pull through all 3. So you have a half double crochet, a decrease half double crochet, and a half double crochet. So we're going to alternate that pattern all the way around. I'll do a couple more with you. So the next one, we're going to do a half double crochet decrease. So go ahead and yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, 3 loops on the hook, go ahead and yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, you have 5 loops on the hook, go ahead and yarn over and then pull through all 5 loops. And now we're going to do a half double crochet in the next stitch. Go ahead and yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, and pull through all 3. So you're going to alternate that pattern, the half double crochet decrease, half double crochet decrease, half double crochet, and do that pattern all the way around and come back and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so you should be back, and this is how your work is looking. It's starting to close up nicely. We're going to do a slip stitch into that first half double crochet. So go ahead and go into that top stitch, yarn over, and then pull through both loops on the hook. And now we're going to do half double crochet decreases all the way around. So for the first one, go ahead and chain 2, 1, 2, and now we're going to do a decrease. So go ahead and yarn over, go into your next stitch, yarn over, go into your next stitch, yarn over. You have 5 loops on the hook. Go ahead and yarn over and pull through all 5 for your decrease. So now you're going to go ahead and yarn over, go into your next stitch, yarn over. You're going to yarn over, go into your next stitch, yarn over, and you have 5 loops on your hook. Go ahead and yarn over and pull through all 5. And you're just going to do this all the way around. So I'm going to go ahead and do one more with you. Go ahead and yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over. You have 5 on the hook. Go ahead and yarn over, and then pull through all 5 loops. Go ahead and repeat that pattern all the way around, and then come back and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so you should be back. We're going to do a slip stitch into the beginning half double crochet. So go ahead and go to the top of that last half double crochet, yarn over, and then pull through both loops on the hook. So now what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch all the way around until we close the hole at the top of the hat. So go ahead and go into the next stitch and slip stitch that by pulling your yarn through both loops on the hook. And on this one, we're going to go ahead and skip a stitch, go into the next stitch, yarn over, and pull through both loops on the hook. We're going to skip another stitch, go through the next stitch, yarn over, and pull through both loops on the hook. And we're going to do that all the way around. So we're skipping a stitch, going into the next stitch, yarn over, and pull through both. Skip this stitch, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through both. And we're just doing that all the way around until the opening is closed. So on this one, you might want to go right across now. You can see here, there's a stitch. You can go right into there and pull through. And then here, you can go across to this stitch, yarn over and pull through. And you're almost closed. We're going to go right across until we close the hole. And I'm going to do one more. You can see there's still a little bit of an opening right there. So I'm going to do one more to close it. I'm just going to go right across the top. And it's closed. So now we can go ahead and finish off. So go ahead and yarn over and pull through. And just pull a little bit of yarn through so we can thread that into the inside of the hat. And you can see that it closed up nicely. And you can see if you want this to be the outside, or if you prefer this to be the outside. And I think I like this side, so I'm just going to keep this as the outside, the right side. So now what you're going to do is we're going to make the bottom of the hat. So go ahead and take your hook, and you're going to go in right where you tied your knot when you first began. So go ahead and go into that stitch, and then you're going to take your yarn and hook it and go through, and you're going to do one single chain. So go ahead and yarn over and pull through, and then you're going to tie a knot. And we're also going to bury our yarn, the loose yarns that we have. We're going to bury it as we work on this row. So on this row, we're going to do a row of double chains or double crochet. So go ahead, yarn over, chain 1, yarn over, chain 2, yarn over, chain 3. And then we're going to go into the next stitch. Go ahead and yarn over, go into the next stitch, and make sure that you have your 2 yarn ends in between. You're going to yarn over, and now you have 3 loops on your hook. Go ahead and yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, and go through 2. So now we have 2 double crochet. We're going to do another double crochet. Go ahead and yarn over, go through the next stitch, yarn over, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, and go through 2. And then we're going to yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, double crochet. So I'm going to do a few more with you. Yarn over, go through the next stitch. And I think we buried these enough, so we'll go ahead and cut those. Make sure you don't cut your work. And then I'll do one more with you. Go ahead and yarn over, go through the next stitch, yarn over, 3 on the hook, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, and go through 2. Go ahead and do 2 rows of the double crochet, and then come back, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so you should be back, and you can check your work, and you have 1, 2 rows of double crochet. So now we're going to go ahead and do a slip stitch to the beginning of your first double crochet. Go ahead and put your hook through, yarn over, and bring the yarn through both loops on the hook. And now you're going to finish off. Go ahead and yarn over and pull through, and just leave a long enough yarn end for burying into your work. And you can see your hat, and you can check the fit on your model. And this one fits nicely. So now we're going to do the stem and the leaf for the top portion. Go ahead and set that aside. And we're going to do the stem first. So go ahead and grab your brown yarn. And you can still use the J hook or 6mm crochet hook. And we're going to do a magic circle. So go ahead and lay the yarn across your 4 fingers, and with your thumb you can help stabilize it. And you're going to bring the yarn around 2 times around your middle fingers, and you're going to hold it with your pinky and your thumb. You're going to take your hook, go under the 2 loops around your middle fingers, yarn over, and pull under. And then you're going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and pull through that loop on the magic circle, and that's your knot. And now we're going to do 6 single chains into the magic circle. So go under, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have 6 single chains on your magic circle. You can hold it with your forefinger and your thumb. And then you have these 2 loose ends on the other side of the magic circle. Just pull on one of them. If it doesn't pull easily, let go and then pull on the other one. But this one's pulling easily. So go ahead and close that. And then take your loose end of yarn and pull on that. And then your magic circle should look like this. And then you're going to go ahead and get your yarn marker. And we're going to do 1 single chain in 1 stitch and then 2 single chains in the next stitch. So in your first stitch, you're going to do 1 single chain. The next stitch, you're going to do 2 single chains. So you do yarn over, pull through, and that's 1. So we're going to go into the same stitch, yarn over, and that's 2. And we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to your yarn marker. So I'll do 1 more with you. Into the next stitch, you're going to do 1 single chain. And then in the next stitch, you're going to do 2 single chains in the same stitch. 1, 2. Go ahead and finish that pattern all the way back to the yarn marker and come back and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so you should be back to your yarn marker. Go ahead and take your yarn marker and put it up to where you just left off. And now you're going to do 1 single chain into every stitch. So in the next stitch, you're only doing 1 single chain. Next stitch, only 1 single chain. And you're going to do that all the way around. 1 single chain into every stitch. And you're going to do that for 5 rows and then come back and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so you should have finished your 5 rows. So here you can count from your yarn marker, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we're going to go ahead and do a slip stitch into the next stitch, yarn over, and then pull through both loops on the hook. And then we're going to finish off. Go ahead and yarn over and pull through and leave enough yarn for sewing onto the hat. And then you can go ahead and make sure you can turn it inside out so that your yarn that you started with is on the inside. And then you have the right side that you're going to sew onto the hat. Go ahead and set that aside with your hat. And now we're going to make the leaf. So you're going to need 2 of these. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make them. Go ahead and get your green yarn. And we're going to go ahead and chain 10. So first thing that I do is I just loop it just like that. And then I grab it with my middle finger and my thumb. And then I yarn over and pull through for my slip stitch. So that's my slip stitch. I'm going to go ahead and do a chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now you're going to single chain into the second chain from the hook. So there's 1 and then 2. So you're going to go ahead and single chain into the second chain from the hook. And then into the next stitch, you're going to do a half double crochet. So you're going to yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over. You have 3 loops on your hook. Go ahead and yarn over and pull through all 3. Now you're going to do a double crochet. Go ahead and yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So now in the next 3 stitches, we're going to do a treble crochet. So you're going to yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over. You have 4 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we're going to do 2 more treble crochets. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over. 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and then pull through the last 2. So we're going to do 1 more treble crochet, yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over. You have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through the last 2. Now you're going to do a double crochet in the next stitch, yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, you have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we're going to do a half double crochet. Go ahead and yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, you have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. And then in the last stitch you're going to do a single chain. Go ahead and do a single chain. And then we're going to turn and we're going to go back across and do the same thing that we did on this side on the opposite side for the leaf. And at the same time you're going to bury this loose yarn that we had from the start. So you're going to go into that first stitch that we originally started with and we're going to do a single chain. And then in the next stitch, we're going to do a half double crochet. So you're going to yarn over, you're going to go into the next stitch, and at the same time, you're going to keep this yarn in so we can bury it. Yarn over, and you have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3, and that's your first half double crochet. And then in the next stitch, we're going to do a double crochet. So yarn over, go into the next stitch, and at the same time, we're going to try and bury that yarn that we started with. Go ahead and yarn over, and then we're going to yarn over and go through 2, yarn over and go through 2, and that's your double crochet. So now we're going to do 3 treble crochets. You yarn over, and you go into that next stitch, yarn over, you have 4 loops on your hook, you're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through 2. So now we're going to do 2 more treble crochets. So yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, you have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through 2. Now we're going to do 1 more treble crochet. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we can go ahead and cut this loose strand in the middle that's getting in the way because we buried it enough in our work. So now we're going to do a double crochet into the next stitch, yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over and go through the last 2. Now we're going to do a half double crochet. So yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, you have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through 3. And then in the last stitch there, we're going to do a single chain. And now we're going to finish off, go ahead and yarn over and then pull through and leave enough yarn that we're going to sew the leaf onto the hat. And we have your leaf. So go ahead and get your 2 leaves that you've completed, and then also the stem for the hat. And we're going to go ahead and sew the stem on first. So go ahead and get your tapestry needle. And thread in the yarn from the stem, and then place the stem where you would like to have it, and I'm going to place it right in the center of the hat. And then you're just going to take your tapestry needle and you're going to sew it onto the hat. And so you just come up from the bottom after you've gone in through the hat. You're just going to come up from the bottom of the hat and into the stem, and you're just going to sew it all the way around onto the hat. And then you're going to place your leaves and you're going to sew those on however you like them onto the hat as well. And when you're done with that, come back and then I'll show you the finished product. Okay, so you should have sewn on your stem and your 2 leaves, and I usually just sew the stem at the corner here so that the leaves can flap a little bit. And you can see how the way you slip stitched the top makes a little bit of a curve here, which is nice for a pumpkin look. And then for your loose strand that you have left over, just take your tapestry needle and then you can just sew that into the inside part of your hat. And then I like to go a couple of ways here just to make sure that it's buried into the hat well. And then you're done with your baby hat. And I'll just show you on the model. And the hat looks nice.